A comprehensive guide to wall wash test, WWT, on chemical tankers. All non-chemical tanker folks must be wondering. The wall wash test, WWT, is performed on chemical tankers after completing the tank cleaning operation of cargo tanks. Wall wash test, WWT, is required to determine the vessel's cleanliness, which means whether the vessel is ready or not to load the next cargo and if further cleaning is required or not. The wall wash test, WWT, requires ship staff to enter the cargo tanks and collect samples from various locations. An instrument called a spectrometer, UV test apparatus, is generally provided on board by the vessel charterers or owners to perform the wall wash test, WWT. A spectrometer provides result data and UV scan graphs of hydrocarbon, HC, chloride, Cl, permanganate time test, PTT, APHA colors, which play a deciding role in determining whether the tanks are suitable for loading the next cargo or not. Ship staff must familiarize themselves with the use of spectrometers on board to perform the wall wash test, WWT, on board and to ensure compliance with the required cleanliness standards. The charterers may request the result data and UV scan graphs of the wall wash test, WWT, at any time. Once the vessel reaches the loading port, a cargo surveyor comes on board to take the wall wash samples. Samples taken by the surveyor will be inspected at a shore-based laboratory. The cargo loading will commence only after the samples taken by the surveyor are passed. Now for a better understanding of the wall wash test, WWT, we will discuss the following. 1. Cargo tank cleanliness standards for chemical tankers tank cleaning. 2. Items, equipment required for wall wash test, WWT. The cargo tank cleanliness standards for chemical tankers are defined in the INTERTANKO publication. The primary purpose of these cleanliness standards is to provide predictability in terms of cost and time required for tank cleaning. Additionally, they aim to avoid tanks overcleaning, improve port turnaround, clarify charter party terms, and reduce the number of in-tank inspections in ports. Cargo tank cleanliness standards are divided into 4 standards. Visually clean standard. In the visually clean standard, tanks are inspected from the deck level, and no wall wash test, WWT, is required. Tanks must be clean, dry, and visually free of previous cargo residues and foreign matter. There should be no uncharacteristic odor. Water white standard. In water white standard, tanks are inspected internally, and wall wash test, WWT, is carried out. Tanks must be odor-free, clean, dry, and visually free of previous cargo residues and foreign matter. In water white standard, wall wash color test is carried out with methanol, acetone, and other suitable solvents. The acceptable result of this color test is 15 or less. High purity standard. High purity standard is commonly used for the carriage of methanol cargo. This standard is often called the methanol standard. In high purity standard, tanks are also inspected internally, and the wall wash test, WWT, is carried out with methanol, acetone. Must pass water miscibility, hydrocarbon test. Permanganate time test, PTT, greater than 50 minutes. Chlorides must be less than 2 ppm. UV spectrum passes. Wash water is to be tested to confirm no more than 100 ppm of the last cargo. Ultra high purity. The ultra high purity standard requires a more stringent level of cleanliness than the high purity standard. It is used for the carriage of extremely high spec cargoes. Must pass water miscibility, hydrocarbon test. Color less than 10, APHA or ASTM D1209. Permanganate time test, PTT, greater than 50 minutes. Chlorides must be less than 2 ppm. NVM, non-volatile matter, less than 10 ppm. Wash water is to be tested to confirm no more than 100 ppm of the last cargo. Procedures and types of wall wash test, WWT. Wall wash do's and don'ts. Wear disposable latex gloves, shoe covers, and a clean or disposable boiler suit, along with personal protective equipment, PPE. Before taking wall wash samples, make sure to rinse all items in the bucket with methanol after entering each tank. Randomly select one spot on each bulkhead for the wall wash sample. Collect approximately 50 milliliters of wall wash from each bulkhead to have enough for testing purposes. Don't take samples from wet bulkheads. Types of wall wash test, WWT. 1. Hydrocarbon, HC, Water miscibility test. For making a standard or reference solution, add 10 ml of the laboratory-grade methanol and 90 ml of deionized water. Using the same sample, Nessler tube in which the hydrocarbon, HC, water miscibility tests were conducted, add 5 drops of a 10% silver nitrate solution, and then add 5 drops of a nitric acid solution or use 5 drops of acidified silver nitrate solution. Stop at the tube and invert it to mix the contents and wait for 15 minutes. Observe if any turbidity is formed by comparing the sample with the standard. The comparison of wall wash samples to a standard should be performed in a darkened room by looking down through the tubes using a wide beam pen light held about 1 foot from the sides of the tubes. Now we have both the standard solution and the wall wash sample ready to run into the spectrometer. 3. Permanganate time test, PTT. Thoroughly clean the sample, Nessler tubes with hydrochloric acid and rinse them 3 times with tap water. Label the test tubes and add 50 ml of wall wash to each tube. Mix the permanganate solution by combining 0.1 grams of potassium permanganate with 500 ml of deionized water, DI. Prepare a fresh solution every 3 days. Before adding the permanganate solution, fill the tubes to the 50 ml level with a wall wash. Add 2 ml of the permanganate solution to each tube, stop at the tubes, and invert them once to mix. Prepare a standard solution using 50 ml of lab methanol and 2 ml of the permanganate solution to run simultaneously with the other tubes. Place the tubes in the water bath in a dark place and maintain the temperature. Observe the color at 10-minute intervals and make a note of the times when the color changes from deep purple to pink and when it fades to a pale, watery yellow and brown. If the standard fades at a shorter time than the test sample, it indicates a problem with the lab, methanol, permanganate solution, or testing containers. Now run the test in a spectrometer. For samples with a reading above 32.0%, they will show a pink color and pass the test. For samples with a reading below 32.0%, they will appear brown in color and fail the test. Note: permanganate time test, PTT, must be greater than 50 minutes. 4. Visual test. This test involves visually inspecting the sample under suitable lighting conditions to detect the presence of any suspended particles or visible impurities. 5. Odor test. The odor test is performed to identify any persistent foreign odor that might contaminate the cargo. Filter papers are dipped into both the sample and the standard solution, and immediate smell detection is performed. 5. Non-volatile matter, NVM, test. The NVM test aims to determine the presence of non-volatile impurities on the tank surface. A specific quantity of the wall wash liquid is evaporated, and the resulting residue, non-volatile matter, is weighed. Wall wash test, WWT, versus wash water analysis. Now, you might be wondering what exactly is wash water analysis. Wash water analysis involves analyzing the wash water that is pumped out of the tank using a spectrometer to determine if the tank is clean enough for the next cargo. This approach helps to reduce the actual washing of tanks based on a fixed time or physical inspection. Thanks for watching.